Hello again, or welcome if it's your first video here. So it is the full moon in Cancer as of last night, and I just felt like doing a little collective reading using two of my decks. These are not tarot decks. This is the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck, and this is the Truth deck. I forget which volume it is, but there's a whole bunch of these. So we're just gonna pull some messages just for the collective to see what's going on energetically with this full moon. I have been hearing just from a ton of friends and people that I've been talking to that this full moon in particular has been pretty like dense energy, I'll put it that way. So I feel like getting some guidance from these two decks is just what the doctor ordered. I want to start with this deck here. This has easily become one of my favorite newer decks that I've been working with. And I don't know what direction this reading is going to go in, so let's find out. Oh, that was quick. Okay. Those were hanging on by a thread for a second there. All right, let's start here. So we already have Scorpio, which it says here, intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. So that definitely makes sense for the energy that's been going on with this full moon in particular. We also have Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking. We have fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. And we have Mercury, which is interesting because we are still in a Mercury retrograde. That is going to continue until February. I forget the exact date that it ends, like early February. So this Mercury card here says think, learn, network, and communicate. Okay, so I feel like so far, pretty much what we're getting is that this moon is bringing forth a lot of purging. That is 100% for sure. Full moons are about releasing anyway, you know, letting go of things so that we can sort of harvest intentions. New moons are more so for setting intentions, kind of like planting seeds. Full moons, you know, they bring things to the surface, they bring things to light, often so we can release them to make room for what we do want to manifest and bring into our life. So that's very much tied in with this energy that's coming through here. It definitely, like I said, it's been pretty intense energy with this moon. Cancer is a water sign, so intense emotions, intense emotionally, probably a lot of like emotional releasing. What's coming through right now with this is that for the collective, if this resonates with you, there needs to be a deep emotional releasing. I feel like a lot of karmic cycles and chapters are coming to a close for many, many of us. And this moon is kind of like the, why do I feel like saying the nail in the coffin? That's not the right kind of thing that I'm going for, but I think you probably get what I mean. Yeah, like the nail in the coffin on whatever these cycles that need to close to make room for, I'm getting like new energy with this Gemini and the Mercury, because these both have networking as their key words. So I feel like after this full moon, there's going to be a period of time of a lot more socializing. I think a lot of us just collectively have been in a pretty like kind of isolating or like hermit mode. But I feel like there's a movement coming out of that. Gemini is like, you can see the butterfly imagery here. Gemini is like the social butterfly. We also have a butterfly here that's super interesting. So I'm also picking up, and here actually, wow, okay, so 3 butterflies in this spread so far. So I'm getting big energy of like transformation and transitioning. Like I was saying, I feel like we're going to be entering collectively a more social time, meeting a lot of new people, meeting new connections. I'm getting a lot of like new energy, because again, with Gemini, there is like this sense of curiosity. I'm getting that a lot of you are going to be engaging in, this is very specific, but like witty banter is very much like what I associate with the sign of Gemini. I'm feeling like this is all going to be happening during the Mercury retrograde and transitioning out of it. I feel like this energy will kind of continue through like the transition out of Mercury retrograde. That's where this fixed energy is coming through though, because I feel like after this full moon kind of fully transits out into the next phase, that's when this period of like heavier networking, socializing, making new connections, possibly reconnecting with like old friends, family, romantic partners, things like that. There's definitely a mix here, so it could be like a combination of new and old that you're kind of networking and socializing with. But I feel like a lot of you are going to then, I'm getting like partner energy where you may meet someone new in this social period, maybe at a networking event or something like that, and kind of quickly move into something more stable. Because this fixed card again, it says stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So I do feel like if we're talking relationship wise, then those are kind of the characteristics of this relationship that you'll be entering into. I'm feeling like at the soonest February, possibly past that. Because there's definitely this like kind of free-flowing social butterfly period that is coming through first. But I'm also getting that this could be like work related for some of you watching, because we have networking again, like I've been saying, thinking, and like there's a lot of kind of like intellectual energy here with this. So fixed is a really good sign, whether it's for relationship or work, because you're gonna have stability where maybe it wasn't before. Some of you may be leaving like an unfulfilling job or something like that, this new moon and Mercury retrograde, and Venus retrograde actually, because a lot of people think it's only about like romance, love, but Venus is really just about like our inner and outer world of pleasure, passion, the things that like really fulfill us. So that can lead to reevaluations, not just of like relationships, but also our relationship to our work, our career, you know, our day-to-day like routines and things like that, the things that fulfill us and bring us pleasure and joy. And, you know, that can include things outside of just relationships with other people. So that is also definitely coming through for a lot of you. So whichever kind of realm this is like resonating for you, love or work, maybe a little bit of both, regardless, a lot more stability is coming in. If it is work, it's going to be something very dependable for you. So I am feeling like good material abundance coming in the future. I'm getting a sense of like really building up material security with a dependable position in work, saving up, things like that, kind of building a foundation. And for love as well, or just your relationships in general, there's also that sense of like foundation building after a time of just a lot of reevaluating, releasing, kind of letting things crumble. I'm getting like the tower energy, the tower card from a tarot deck. I bet you if we were pulling from the tarot, the tower would probably come through. But let's get into the truth deck and get some messages here. See what else we need to know. Okay. This deck is ginormous, so it's a little tricky to handle, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna shuffle over here just so I have more room with this monster of a deck. Oh, okay, now we're talking. Ooh. Okay, let's see. All right, so we had these three cards come out together. So the first is time for play. Definitely, I want to place this here because this is like, we're kind of transitioning out of the kind of like emotional intensity of, you know, the Scorpio card, the purging, the full moon, Cancer, all these retrogrades that really encourage like review, reflection, kind of diving deep into our like values and things like that, into this lighter Gemini air energy, you know, the networking, communicating, having fun, this very like airy kind of, just like there's more space, it's less heavy, it's much lighter. So this makes a lot of sense. I feel like the energy is just gonna feel a lot more playful or safer to kind of be in that energy. And it's actually funny, I just posted a reels on my Instagram today, which you can definitely check out if this is resonating, where playfulness came through from the oh god this deck right here, which is the Romance Angels. So that was specifically a love reading for people in separation. So if that resonates, I would definitely suggest checking that out, because playfulness, this energy of like lightening up, it just keeps coming through today, especially. So we also have memories, which makes a lot of sense for being in a Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of nostalgia. This could bring forth, like I was saying, some past connections, some purging, reviewing the past to release what we don't need anymore. So that definitely makes a lot of sense as well. And then confusion came out, but this one came out in the reverse. So again, I feel like this is just kind of affirming like the releasing of this sort of heavy, like foggy, it's felt kind of foggy, right? Like the energy, a lot of like mental fog, emotional density, which is this energy of like confusion. I feel like a lot of people in relationships or with like concerns to work and making choices, like any situations where it's felt like there's been a decision or a choice that needs to be made, possibly between like multiple paths. There's been a lot of confusion in the past few weeks, possibly even like the last couple of months, stretching back as far as that. And because this is in the reverse, I'm just getting again like this moon is a time of releasing, purging. So if you're not already kind of doing that and like actively deciding what you want to let go of, now is a really good time to like get into that kind of shadow work and do that work, because it's going to clear up so much. There's going to be a lot more clarity. This fixed card, again, a lot more stability, dependability, like those are all kind of opposite or opposing energies to confusion. So this tells me it's clearing. There's like a big energy clearing that's gonna come after this full moon. Yeah, the final message that's kind of coming through for this collective reading is just once we get through this full moon, there's going to be so much more clarity. It's going to feel so much easier for you to know exactly how to move forward in a way that wasn't clear before. And that applies to relationships or career or just kind of anything. For some of you, I'm even getting like home. Maybe there's like some of you who have been struggling with like a move or purchasing a home or something of that nature, because that came through as well. But regardless, there's a transition happening from this energy into like this playful Gemini networking energy. It's going to start with the end of this full moon cycle and continue to progress and transition through the end of Mercury retrograde. And then it's going to enter into this fixed energy, this more stable, dependable kind of period of time. The persistence is sticking out here too. I think Spirit just wants me to address if times have felt confusing or difficult or dense or heavy or, just challenging. I feel like for a lot of us, persistence has been a theme. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's been like such a theme for such a long time that it almost gets to a point where you're like, oh my God, how much longer do I have to keep being persistent and patient and, having like faith and trust that we're going to get through this kind of like confusion or fog or whatever. So I feel like this is Spirit just kind of confirming, like, get through this final push. We are transitioning. It's showing up right here. Just keep that persistence up and it's going to be rewarded with like, all these things, the stability, loyalty, dependability, the things that you've been waiting for and kind of have been confused about. It's all going to get flipped in the best way possible. So, okay, this was a short little reading, but I felt really called to do it for just the energies that have been swirling around. I hope it was helpful. I hope it resonated. Drop a comment down if it did. and I'll see you next time around. Bye.